So, okay. So I had a dream, and it was about my story. And it was from the perspective of Sinzeya, and it was this city, and it was like a big circle city with this giant stone walls around the outside, like as big as a neighborhood. Like that's how thick they were. And then there was like a giant lattice work of buildings and tunnels, like a web of just interlocking layers and layers of just civilization in the middle of it. And then, so it was like the web of buildings all the way up, like really, really high. And then there was just air all the way down. And then the walls. And in that air, like at the bottom, the very bottom, there's like water and stuff. And it had been colonized by people who weren't like good enough to be let into the city. They just made their homes in like that space. There was like marketplaces and shops under the ground and houses and hollowed out bits of the walls that had just been inhabited, but they would like rush into holes in the walls to hide from the guards whenever the guards came, because they're not technically supposed to be there. And the only ways into the city was this thing called the Forgotten Catacombs, and it was kind of shaped like this, like it started out really low and then went up and over, and it was made out of all of the leftover building materials from the city, like bricks and bits of metal and just pieces of rubble. And there was this spiral staircase up and up and up and up, just of pieces of rubble from the city that had just been stuck to the walls. And it was super difficult to navigate and climb, and it took like hours and hours to climb up. And it was in pitch blackness, but eventually you would get to the top and you would come out into the city. And well, at least the very lower levels, because the lower you are in the city, it's darker, and because like you're so far away from the sun, you're so low down. That's where the lesser people live. And in the dream, me as Sinzeya got to the very top to go and see the queen, and it was this massive plateau with a giant tower in the middle. And there were all of these women, and they were all different species. Some had wings, some were tall, some had dark skin, some were fair, some had blue skin, but they all had the same face. And they all wore the same beautiful cloak that had points at the shoulders that went from mustard yellow at the very top to this beautiful rusty orange at the bottom, with this intricate triangular swirling design on it with like black ink on the back. It flowed off. And I went up there and I said, I'm here to see the queen. And they all looked at me and went, "Oh, you're here to see the queen?" No, the queen isn't here anymore. We're all the queen now. And I just was so scared, because why are you here? Who are all of you? What is going on? Like, where's the queen? Why isn't she here? How are you all the queen? What is wrong with your face? So I just backed up to the back of the plateau and fell into the open air in between the city mass and the outer walls, and I fell and fell until something came and caught me and flew me away. And yeah, also, Sinzeya was able to go partially invisible, still be visible, but transparent. So I would just try and convince people they were hallucinating, and I think that's really freaking funny. And then later on, she got better at it, but she could go invisible except for her bones, which was really weird. But her bones would like glow. It was really scary. Yeah. And then at that point, there were like other people who could not. They didn't have like weird freaky powers, but like there were people who did. So there were like rumors spreading about the freak who has glowing bones. So I went and gathered all the other mutant people, and we like scared the shit out of people. That's what we did, but that's not related. Anyway, yeah, it was really freaking cool. Oh man, yeah.